Debbie with Tailor by Debbie, and today I'm going to show you how I make my bunny beaded garland. We're going to get started. I buy these little cutouts. They're sold in the seasonal section at Dollar Tree, and they come in a pack of multiples, and this one is the little bunny rabbit, so we're going to be using that. We're going to be using some napkins that I also got at the Dollar Tree. We're going to be using some painter's tape, some scissors. We're going to be using a tassel. And if you need to know how or want to know how to make these tassels, I have another video on my YouTube channel, and it's called How to Make a Double Tassel Beaded Garland. You can go back and watch and just make one of the tassels. That's all you're going to need for this project. First, I want to show you an easy way to separate the different plies of napkins. When you buy napkins, they're going to have more than one ply to them, and it'll tell you on the package how many plies that the napkin has. And these from the Dollar Tree have 2 ply. And the easiest way that I have found to separate the plies of the napkins is to put a piece of painter's tape, just tap it lightly on a corner on each side, and then take the painter's tape and just pull, and it's going to pull those layers apart. And then I'll take the painter's tape back off. But see how easy that was, guys, to get that apart? And you're just going to pull it apart, and you're only going to use 1 ply. You can save the other piece. I like to use it to wipe dabs of hot glue from my hot glue gun, but you can use it for whatever, every other needs you might have. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lay down our napkin. I'll lay my bunny like this. And then I got these on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description box of this video. These are really cool when you want to tear jagged edges of paper and things, and they come with several different designs on the edges, and then they also have a straight edge. You could use a ruler or something like that for this, because this time we just want to tear it straight. So I just lay this down after I've kind of measured how big I need to have it. And then you just hold this end down and start pulling. And you can tear the napkin so much quicker than cutting it. And you don't need the edges to be perfect on this at all. So just a little time-saving tip for you there. All right, and like I said, you can use a ruler. You don't have to use these, but if you do a lot of paper crafting or scrapbooking where you want to tear some neat-looking edges, these are great for that. All right, then we're going to lay our bunny down this way, and we're going to tear. And you want to hold this end, kind of press down the end where you're starting to tear, and it'll tear much easier. Okay, we need to tear 2 pieces. So I'm going to come over here and tear. See, it's got that flower pattern, so let's actually do it over here, because I want just the checkered pattern on these bunnies. Okay, remember, you're going to press down in this corner and then just tear it. Okay, we'll move that out of the way now. Okay, the next step that I did, I took each of these wood pieces and I Mod Podged them on each side and then let it dry. And you want to put a pretty good coat of it. And I used the matte Mod Podge. I'll leave it here for a second so you can get a screenshot of it. And I will also try to link this exact product in the description box below if you want to get some. They also sell small bottles of it at the Dollar Tree, and you can also find it at craft stores. Okay, so you're going to Mod Podge both sides of the wood cutout, and then let it completely dry. And you do want to put a pretty good coat. Okay, then the next step is you'll either need an ironing board, and for this demonstration I'm using my ironing pad so I can keep it under the camera here. But you're going to lay down a piece of parchment paper, and then you're going to lay down a piece of your napkin that you tore, and you want to put this one right side down, okay? And then we're going to lay our bunny on it. And then you want another piece of napkin, and you want to lay that one right side up. And then you want to put another piece of parchment paper over the top. Now, the next step is to use a heat to reactivate the Mod Podge, which is going to make the napkin stick to our wood. And I'm using my Cricut heat press. I've got it at 310 degrees, and we are going to press it for 25 seconds. Now, if you don't have a Cricut heat press, you could use a regular household iron. I would use it on a medium-high setting and just set a timer for about 25 seconds. And we're just going to let the time count back here. Make sure that you're using parchment paper so you don't mess up the surface of your iron or your heat press. Okay, when the 25 seconds is up, we're going to take this. It's going to be hot. We're going to flip it over. Just check and make sure that napkin's still over our bunny and that our bunny's still over the parchment paper. And we're going to press this side for 25 seconds. Okay, once it is done being pressed, you're going to want to let that cool for just a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and get my beads ready and my tassel that I've already made. And like I said, if you need to know how to make a tassel like this, I do have another video on my YouTube channel. It is titled How to Make a Double Tassel Beaded Garland. And you can go back and watch that and just make one of the tassels with the string attached. And I like to use a bobby pin for my needle to thread the beads onto my garland. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. I believe this is cool enough now where I can handle it. Next, we're going to take some scissors and we're just going to kind of cut close to the bunny. You don't have to worry about getting really close because we're going to use a neat trick here in a second that is going to take all this excess edge off. You could sand it off, but I'm going to show you something even faster. Now, to do this, we do need to sand across the bottom edge first. Okay, so you're just going to take your sandpaper and just scrape it across the bottom edge of your cutout, because you want to have somewhere you can hold your hand that does not have any napkin along the edge, you know, for a significant 3 or 4 inches. Okay, so just go ahead and sand one edge of your napkin completely off. And it just takes a minute, y'all. I did just have surgery, so my wrist is a little bit gimpy, and you'll see a bruise over here from where they put my IV. Sorry about that, y'all. I know it's not the most attractive thing, but it's my reality right now, so I don't want to stop making videos for you guys, so I'm going to just try to work through it. Okay, now that we have that edge completely sanded off, okay, you're going to take this and you're going to use a lighter. Okay, next step, you're just going to take a lighter, hold that bottom part where you've already sanded off the paper, and then you're just going to put the lighter right here, and it's going to burn around the edges, y'all. How cool is that? Let me get it lit again. Okay. If it goes back out, you can relight it, so you don't have to worry about sanding all the way around the edges of this little cutout. This is the coolest thing ever to me. I think it's going to go the rest of the way this time. Okay, now you do have just a little bit of like ashes from where it burned, so you can just take this and lightly kind of get those off, but that's all there is to it, y'all. And it sanded it, quote unquote, on both sides, y'all. So I just kind of go around because it, you know, it leaves just a little bit of that ash type material. And I'm going to take this and just brush it off into the trash. All right, then what I like to do is put down my parchment paper again. And I want to press this one more time on each side for 25 seconds. going to go ahead and turn off our iron here, our heat press. And this guy's going to be hot, so be careful. Okay. Now, the next step, I do see a little bit where the flame did not burn through right there. So if you see any places where your flame did not burn completely through, you can go ahead and just sand that off. Just be careful not to rake it across your napkin. Kind of do it up and down like so you won't scrape the surface of your napkin off of your wood. All right, where the hole was, you can still kind of see it through the wood piece. You want to take something sharp, and I just use my Cricut weeding tool. They do sell these at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, but you can just use something sharp. You could use a wood skewer for like a shish kebab skewer. Whatever you have that has a sharp point on it, just stick it through both ways like so. And then I just take that corner of that sandpaper and just kind of twist it like that to get that little added edge of that stuff off. Okay, now we're going to take our tassel and we're going to thread some beads onto our tassel. And I'm going to use just white, kind of a white and green to match, kind of a creamy white and green. I buy my beads all different places. You can buy them on Amazon. I like to buy them at the Dollar Tree. They sell beads there. You can find them in garlands that are already made, or they sell little bags. Whoops, messed up right there. If you mess up, you can just take this yarn where you've threaded through your bobby pin, pull it straight down, and take that bead right back off. The little bobby pin does make it so much easier. And I cut the little ends off so it'll fit through the center of the bead. You just take a wire cutter and very carefully cut those ends off. Hold the short end when you're cutting so they don't go, the little pieces don't go flying. And just snip those off. And it gives you a nice straight end there to use as a needle to thread your beads on when you're making beaded garlands like this. So much easier, y'all, than trying to tape the ends of this tape and stick that taped end of yarn through. I got so frustrated when I was doing that, and then I figured this out, and I thought, what a game changer. Makes it so much easier. So I think I'm going to put 10 beads. So we've got 5, 6, need a green, 7, 5 of each, 8, and 9, and then we're going to end up with a cream colored bead. I think that looks good for this. All right, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 beads, 2 of each color. You can use whatever beads you have. All right, what you want to do next is you want to pull those beads down really tight up against your tassel. And then we're going to thread our bobby pin through the hole with both pieces of the yarn. Then you can take the bobby pin off. What you want to do is whatever direction you want those beads to be coming off of that bunny, where that hole is, you're just going to pull it tight up against the edge of your wood piece, okay? Now, we're going to separate these pieces of yarn, and you want this piece of yarn to go underneath up here at the top where the beads are. You want that to go underneath and come out on this other side. Okay, and then you want to take this one and go the opposite direction underneath the bunny and come out underneath all of that over on this side. Okay, so that's kind of what you got when you do that. All right, and then we're going to take that. We're going to pull. We want to keep the beads, though, kind of to the edge of where the wood is. And then we're going to tie this one time. And then we'll tie it one more time. All right, and instead of just cutting this off and having these strings, you know, look messy right here at the top, what we're going to do is we're going to take this bobby pin needle, pull it apart, put both strings of yarn back through your bobby pin needle, okay? And then we're going to take this bead and we're going to thread those two ends back up through several of the beads, and that's going to pull those ends up in here, and they're going to stay up inside the beads where you won't see, you know, messy ends of string down here at the bottom of your garland. It's just going to look neat. Okay, so you can pull it through as many of these as you want. I say the more the better, as long as you have, you know, string for. At least 3 or 4 of them is what I try to do. And I think that's good enough. All right, and then I'm going to take and cut these strings off. You got to be really careful not to cut the string that the beads are threaded onto. You just want to cut your 2 end pieces. And then you just want to kind of pull that bead up a little bit. And y'all, there you go. We are done with our cute bunny beaded garland. The possibilities for these are endless. You can use all different kinds of napkins, all different colors of beads, all different colors of yarn for your tassel. You can make your tassels as long or short as you want to. But I really hope you give this a try. Thank you so much for watching and being part of the Tailored by Debbie family and supporting my small business. I really appreciate it. Please like the video, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you won't miss out when I put out new content. Thank y'all. Have a blessed day.